Solo, game number 1, playday number 3, everybody. Germany versus Poland, the rematch. It's been a long time, but here we are again. So, the Germans. I mean, the first thing that I would do if I'm Poland is ban Sergeant Hammer. Don't give the German any tanks to play with. We know how that's, and if history has taught us anything, then it's like you have to deny that right away. So, yeah. But either way, boys and girls, with that, we're now heading straight in for our next game here, obviously. So we have Cursed Hollow coming up. We have the third playday. We obviously are down to the last 8 teams over here. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, already we had the Germans with 2 matches that they won. They're currently leading the rankings. The top 4 will make it to the offline event in Berlin. So we have, of course, at the 10th and 11th of June, we have the offline event coming up in Berlin with like 6 teams in total, 4 European teams. We have 1 team from Asia and 1 team from North America that are going to join, and then we're going to crown a champion there. But first, at least here on the European qualifier, the teams have to make it into the top 4. We have 3 clear favorites, and that's obviously Germany, currently in the lead as the number 1 spot with 2 matches won, another single map dropped. We have Sweden and we have France. Those are the 3 favorites. Upsets can happen, but other teams will likely fight for 4th place, depending on how it looks. Of course, within the top 3, it's also kind of important what's going to happen there, because you want to have a good seeding so that you have an easier opponent in the first round of the main event. But yeah, things are going to get pretty sick here. Poland, they've also done fairly well thus far. They are currently tied for 4th place with Spain. And obviously, after only 2 playdays, there's not really that much that you can really take from those standings and those results just yet. But you get a bit of an inclination, an idea of where things are headed. And today on the 3rd playday, we could definitely go down that direction a little bit further. Now again, if you want to come to Berlin and watch the offline event, shake hands with players, casters, and just enjoy Heroes of the Storm offline, International Heroes of the Storm offline, with other Heroes of the Storm fans, you can do that. The whole event takes place at the Experian at the Alexanderplatz. There are links in the description that you can check out, have a look at the venue, and there's no entry fee. So there's no ticket prices, you don't need to buy one, you can just like stop by and visit the event. And it's going to be awesome. There are tons of people already that said that they are going to visit, that they booked hotels, that they booked their trips, their train, their flight, whatever it may be. And yeah, it's going to be really, really nice. But here in our best of 5 series, let's see what the Germans can do. We got Tracer yesterday on playday number 2. We were missing her a little bit. I actually talked about this quite a bit. The Germans, they ban the Panzer. What's happening over here? It's reverse day, apparently. So yeah, the tanks banned out. I mean, obviously, it makes sense with the compositions that are being played here. You have Tracer, and she doesn't really like auto attacks. So in this case, you ban out Sergeant Hammer. But this is not quite what I expected. If anything, I expected Poland to ban Sergeant Hammer out, considering that Nick and Ultralisk are both playing for the blue team. But the Polish team, they're coming in with Greymane and with Sylvanas. So already a very nice and aggressive composition, especially if you're trying to go for structures. Sylvanas can disable them and Greymane can rip them apart. Only thing that they're missing is the front line for twice. But yeah, playday 3. Slowly and steadily, things are shaping up in the standings. I like it. I like it a lot. Rhaegar is in the house, and we get Hanzo as well. So technically, you could have an arrow stun into Diablo Apocalypse. Practically, we're most likely going to see Lightning Breath. Murden is in the house now, and with that, we are set for game number 1 in our best of 5 here. Germany against Poland, everybody. Let's go. Game number 1, Germany versus Poland. We're on Cursed Hollow, and on the left, Hazorbs with Dehaka, Dainu on Tracer, we got Death Knight on Rhaegar, Nick on Diablo, and Ultralisk is playing Hanzo. Over on the right side of the map, Lavakal with Brightwing, we have Twice playing Muradin, Itrax on Greymane, Richu on Blaze, and Arian is playing Sylvanas. Alright, party time everybody. Let's get the show on the road and see what the Germans can do here. We have already, Money Pick, love it. Twice, showing once again that he has great taste in mounts. And what can the Polish team do here? As I already explained a little bit earlier, so the situation that we are in right now is that the Germans have done really well in the first 2 play days. It's obviously very early to tell, but right now they are undefeated. They haven't even lost a single map. Now obviously it comes down a bit to which opponents you face early on in the round robin. For Poland, they had some mixed results, but generally speaking, they've also been doing alright. They won on the second playday. They took the series against Ukraine with a 3-2 victory, so it was a hard-fought victory at that. But on the first playday, they lost to France, which isn't really an issue. France is one of the big favorites. It would have, of course, been great for Poland to at least take a map there, but they weren't able to do that. France just outclassed them. Generally speaking, though, they are currently tied for 4th place with Spain. And that 4th place still gets you a ticket to Berlin, gets you the accommodation, gets you the flights, and you can participate in the main event, which is obviously what all of the players here are aiming for. So the match against Germany is pretty important for Poland. You're going up against another favorite, and if you are able to get the match win, I mean, even better, that would be absolutely insane. But even if you just take a map or 2, you're already in a very solid position, because this is something that might just get you a bit of an edge over your opponents that also have to still go up against these top favorites here. And as I said before, Germany has up to this point not lost a map. And they, of course, want to maintain that status as well. They want to take first seed in the standings. It's not only about making it into the top 4, you also want to have good seeding so that you have an easier opponent in the first round of the actual tournament, of the main event. So it's going to be interesting to see what Poland has up their sleeves here. Very aggressive composition, as I said before, in game number 1 with the push power that they have, and you can already see it down here at the bottom of the map with Sylvanas. Greymane isn't really with him yet. He is currently sitting in the middle. We have in addition to that the Reverberation now on level 4 for Muradin, so that makes Bronze Beard Rage very attractive on level 13. We had a couple of deviations away from this on the second playday, but mainly with double support compositions where people decided to go for a much more aggressive build with Muradin. But generally speaking, you either have healing static on level 13 and the double clap on level 4, or if you, as in this case, go for Reverberation, then later on you will head into Bronze Beard Rage instead to at least have some sustain here. 2.5 minutes in, first objective announced, tribute about to spawn, camp still taken. Of course, the timing here with the Siege Giant camp, absolutely perfect. As the tribute spawns, Siege Giants are making their way through the top lane. That's normally how you want to set it up if you find yourself in a position that the tribute spawns cross of your Siege Giant camp, because now there is a bit of a choice that the red team has to make. Do they really fight for this tribute? Do they make a play? Because the longer this battle lasts, if they really commit to it, the more those Siege Giants can do at the top side. And this is of course even going to be enhanced throughout the fact that De Haka is being played by Germany. So not only do they have Siege Giants at the top, but they also got a side laner that can help those Siege Giants to break through the wall. But Brightwing currently still soaking some experience. But Germany definitely doesn't want to give this up. You don't have to immediately commit to it if you're the blue team. All you want to do is just delay, and then eventually take it. But you're going to get value at the top, unless, of course, your opponent is able to take some of your heroes down. And that's exactly what happens. While Brightwing is still trying to defend at the top and suffering some damage at the wall, Diablo now gets killed. And that is first blood for Poland. Napierdalaj, the Polish team, with some real plays here right at the beginning. But the issue, of course, is still the same. Hazu can push at the top, Siege Giants are doing damage, the wall is about to be destroyed, and finally the tribute is taken, but Brightwing had to move down to the bottom of the map. So this is already a lot of value for Germany in this particular trade. And Hazu now moving down to the bottom of the map as Tracer gets attacked, but Itrax can't get the kill. With the Haka coming in though, they are putting Greymane into a real lost situation. No place for him to run anymore. And that is the first kill for the German team. So, nicely done. We get the heavy impact on level 4. We get the, level 7. We get the Quicksilver Bullet 2. More camps about to be taken. And the team's looking at 2 forts, one on each side, that has at least been damaged a bit. Top side even more so than what we're seeing on the blue team side down at the bottom of the map. Level 10 ability is obviously going to become quite important here. And now again, the same setup. Siege Giants taken just as the cross spawn happens for the tribute. And now the same rule applies. Poland would love to delay and delay so that they can get more value down at the bottom of the map. Especially since they're now making aggressive move for the Hazorps and they're getting another kill. Once again, Poland pulls that in kills and it's a dog-eat-dog world apparently, since Itrax is trying to make a move for Death Knight. But Rega still alive, Hanzo firing a couple of arrows out, as Tracer is still hoping to eventually take the topside tribute, which isn't really going to happen as long as Blaze is here. So down to the bot lane, Siege Giants are being taken down, and since the red team is moving towards the top, they can now try and make the play for tribute number 2, which would give them the second tribute. So at this point, what do we have? Do they get it? Dino is already dancing around here. Stormbolt doesn't connect though. Tracer's paying attention, but here's level 10, and that might change the equation a little bit. It's a tiny window that Poland has, but it's still there, and it's still dangerous. So Itrax already trying to push Dino back a little bit. Could go for the throat, but they're trying to go for Hazorps again. Another channel happening as Tracer is trying to capitalize on the situation. Has to move back here. Apocalypse already being used. The Germans with the combo. No lightning breath. It is indeed the stun composition that we talked about during the draft, as Tracer goes in and takes down Greymane, but the Stormbolt connects with Nick and the Ancestral just in time to save the day for the tank. Sylvana's down, and now it's a downward spiral for Poland. They're losing too much, and while all of this is playing out, the boss that Germany took in the meantime before they rotated topside is now going for the bottom fort. Brightwing gets destroyed, 5 kills to 2. They're making a move for twice. Nice engage by Nick straight into the Dehaka tongue. And topside, another boss about to be taken by Germany as the blue team is trying to build up momentum. Greymane with a bullet, trying his best here, gets slowed and killed. Oh boy, yeah, that is rough. Nice stun though. Stun into the root. Nick getting a little bit wrecked over here. But they still take the second boss. So the bot lane fort has now fallen. The boss definitely doing work here. And up at the top, of course, this one is not going to make it either. Another fort that will be destroyed. Boss could honestly take a nice chunk out of the wall too. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a quick route that forced Blaze to bunker up over here. But damn. Well done. So, already one destroyed, and of course the gap in experience is now getting widened as well. We have nearly level 13 now for the German team, which is going to give them a talent advantage, as you can see right now. Gives us the tidal waves. We got the ninja assassin over here. Still an oxymoron, but yeah, whatever. And Poland is trailing. Poland is trailing behind. One of the towers getting attacked here. They gotta defend. They gotta fall back a little bit. They took one of their own camps, but now Dino has an easy time going for tribute number 2 for the German team. And of course, with them now also claiming vision down here, they have very good control over the map in general. And with half a level lead before Poland reaches level 13, they're looking very, very strong right now. So it is really time for Poland to figure out when do they really want to make a stand, when do they want to attack, when they want to make a move. Are they fighting for the next tribute, which they should, because if they don't take this one, then Germany is going to curse them. And once the objective hits, I mean, they're probably going to lose a keep if it comes to that. Nice attack though against Hazu, who has to real quickly burrow up again. So Muradin moves in, Stormbolt Connect is there, and the Ancestral plus the Essence get popped. The arrow completely missing as Greymane is attacking Rega again, but this time not able to kill him. Actually, to be fair, I wasn't able to kill him earlier either. Once again, here comes the next one. Nice combo! Well done. Blaze is dead. And Brightwing also destroyed. It's a triple, baby. 3 heroes down on the side of Poland. They made their stand after they hit level 13 talents, but they got destroyed once more. There's the curse after Dino just went for the tribute, and now the opportunity, of course, to open these walls up, go for some of the keeps, and make the big plays in an attempt to take these keeps down and take the lead in this best of 5. already opening up the side wall so that they can go straight for the minion waves once that they spawn. And it's a three-pronged attack that Germany executes. They have the Hark at the top, Tracer in the middle, and then this three-man push down at the bottom of the map. Ultralisk jumping out just in time. Death Knight a bit low though, and he's gonna fall. Rega gets wrecked. An attempt to go for Sylvanas by Tracer isn't quite working out for them, but it's the top keep that's in serious trouble. And also in the middle of the map, since they already took the minion waves down past the keep, the fort itself is now gonna fall to the minions that accumulated. And Sylvanas is finally shutting this push down up at the top. But of course, the result is still the same. Tons of damage done at the top. Arrow nicely dodged. Still flying to this day. 16 talents are now also available. And as the curse is finally over, we have a lot of damage done at the top. Could even result in the keep being destroyed now, because Dino is moving in and saying, you know what, boys, if you're not making him play for that and defend this properly, then I'm just gonna go in and do even more damage. So yeah, it might just survive, and does, but that is way too much for comfort. At any point, Germany could push this out, especially since they run the Haka. Another boss about to be taken, perfectly timing this one out, and Poland will not have time to react to this. Completely ignoring the fact for a second that they don't have level 16 talents. So nice zone control once again by Germany, making sure that they know perfectly well what's happening on the map and where the opponent is positioned. But it was a free boss for them, and with that now they have a pretty easy time pushing for the bot lane keep. Poland is trying for the aggression. They have level 16 and they get it. They get the kill on Rega once again. This is exactly the type of plays that they have to make if they want to have a chance to come back into the game. They waited until they have level 16. Once they had the extra talent, they instantly jumped in, tried to flank, got the kill, and now they have an easier time defending against the boss down here at the bottom of the map. Nicely done. Once again, big arrow this time. Nice. Really well done. Blaze is dead. 10 kills to 4. Arion trying to get out, but with Blaze, Greyman and Sylvanas gone. Despite the fact that they initially were able to take down Rega, the Polish team is now in serious trouble. Getting attacked again here. Losing one of the keeps, and of course now it's time for the core to fall. Germany is moving in for the killing blow. We have 40,000 damage on Tracer, 34,000 for Sylvanas. And that's going to be all she wrote in game number 1. Germany going for the full 5-man team wipe as they take Poland down on Cursed Hollow and take the lead in the best of 5 series here on playday number 3 of the European qualifier for the Nations Cup. GG, well played. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Germany taking the lead in the best of 5 series against Poland. And our next map is Tomb of the Garden Curse. It's a bit of a revamping, so Blizzard came in and they looked at Garden of Terror and they said, like, what can we do to make this map better? And they're like, you know what, we are coming up with a new mechanic over here. So you're collecting these tributes, seeds, and once you have 3 of them, you're going to spawn some Garden Terrors. Totally different thing, completely new concept, never seen before, and definitely not copied from other maps that are already in the pool. So now that we're heading for Tomb of the Garden Curse, we are going to see what the 2 teams can pull off here. It's another big map and was chosen actually by Germany. So the Polish team decided that after the loss they wanted to go for first pick, first ban. And we're starting things off with a Genji pick. So I've seen this one before. Yeah, this is the second time that they're actually pulling this one off. So Abasa and Samuro for Germany. Poland probably didn't think that they would do it again, but this was already played by the Germans, and I can guarantee you one thing. Every time from here on out that Germany picks Garden of Terror, we are going to see either Abatha or Samuro denied to them. But what we're seeing instead is now an opportunity to grab Anduin, which they decided to not do. Okay. Instead, they're locking in Johanna and Sonya immediately. Alright. I was honestly expecting a very quick Anduin pick here, considering that they started things off with Genji. Normally that hints at the team trying to go for a light bomb engage. But now that they didn't get him in a 2-3 rotation, Germany is instantly coming through and saying like, yeah, we're not going to give you Anduin too. You already have Jojo and Sonya. We are going to deny the support at least so that you cannot go for the combo. But of course, Samura Abathur, it's the late game that's really a problem. And if you remember the game that Germany played against Spain, they did the same thing. They played Samura on Abathur, and it was a very close game because Spain did exceptionally well. They really did a number on Germany and nearly won the game. It came down to a backdoor. Germany's score was down to, I believe, 51%, and then it was a backdoor attempt by Spain that was only defended against because Germany did a great job controlling the map and getting vision very early so they could react in time. If not for that, the strategy of Spain could have absolutely worked out. But what Germany is trying to do with the strategy is to head into the late game and really allow Abathur to completely wreck them here. We get Arthas and Uther together with this. Yeah, Arthas can also be an absolute pain in the butt together with Abathur. More slows, can speed him up a little bit, and very, very difficult to kill. So, potentially huge problem here. Uther for the added stun. That's a wild one. It's honestly very reminiscent of the days of old. Every single time I see Arthas, I'm reminded of the alpha and beta days in Heroes of the Storm. The good times, you know, when we still had hope for the game. But now that we're going into the last two picks, it's Sergeant Hammer for Poland. So yeah, Oriel is in the house as a support, and they got Sergeant Hammer. So the Polish team is just looking over to the tanks, and they're saying, you know what? If we learned one thing, is that you never give the Panzer to the Germans. So instead they're going for the tanks themselves. We have Cassia now for Dainu, our final pick, so getting a blind through two that could deal with Sergeant Hammer, maybe even Valkyrie play from them. And with that, heading into the second game of the series, Garden of Terror, everybody. Garden of Terror, Tomb of the Garden Curse, Hazorbs on Abathur, Ultralisk on Samuro. Here we are again with a late game composition. We have Dainu and Cassia, Death Knight on Uther, and Nick with Arthas. On the right side, the Polish team with Sergeant Hammer as they're trying to take a point from Germany. We have Richo on Sonya, twice on Johanna. Itrax is playing Sergeant Hammer in this game. Lavakal with Oriel, and Arian on Genji. It's party time. Can they siege up and do enough damage with Sergeant Hammer against this composition? Can they push? Can they maybe accelerate the game a little bit? Or how are they going to play this one out? We got on level 1 the advanced artillery. We got the searing light over here. And for Arthas, we have a trade build. So Nick is going for a bit more of an aggressive move now with the Eternal Hunger. But at the top side, Sonya establishing herself on the side lane. The Polish team right now trying to get Hammer into a good spot, but of course level 7 will be needed in order to help them to really be aggressive over here. But in the middle of the map, Genji still jumping around a little bit. Nick already with 3 stacks. Mana management obviously going to be important for him. And just generally, if he can diligently stack throughout the game, he is going to be able to get decent damage out in the later stages. Can always make a bit of an argument over whether or not you could go for Rune Tap on level 7 and synergize with that. Normally it's of course the Icebound Fortitude, since as a main tank you are trying to sustain yourselves through any damage combo that your opponent can unleash onto you. But talking about damage, there's a lot already happening down here at the bottom of the map, and Nick is coming in from behind and takes Sergeant Hammer down. So first blood for Germany this time. Another attack, this time against Jojo, and it leads to a second kill. Death Knight makes it out of the battle. Abathur helping out too. And this is already bad news for the Polish team. They're losing a lot of what they're trying to use as pressure play down at the bottom of the map. They have to use 2 heroes at the top side to go for the camp, since Samuro was attempting to steal it from them, or at least threaten it a little bit and force them to contribute a few more resources to the spot. Level 4 is in play for the German team. That gives us the Adrenal Overlord with the added attack speed. And the party at the top lane push continues with our double here. Genji and Sonya down to the bottom of the map. Hammer is of course back to business, and Dainu is immediately ready, trying to apply some pressure, trying to use a couple of blinds, get some hits in. and always waiting for somebody to rotate over and help out. Jojo, though, gets focused and ganked up in the mid lane, and another kill comes through for Germany now that they have 3-0. They're rotating Death Knight towards the top. There's a stun that could come in. Tries to get a little bit closer. Yeah, might not even need it because Ultralisk comes in for another kill and gets it with the help of Abathur. Sonya goes down. First seed down at the bottom of the map now. Another Howling Blast connecting beautifully. Can't fully be capitalized upon by Cassia, but they are threatening the Polish lineup wherever they find it. Well done and well played. Entire level lead now. 4 kills ahead, an entire level lead. Siege tactics are now also in play. That would definitely help against the potential Valkyrie pick from Cassia. We get the Mirage from Samuro. And he is attacking at the top side again and takes the first tower down. So already a lot of aggression from Ultralisk, helped by Abathur, as the two of them are pushing through the lanes. Mule on level 7. We have the Hand of Protection on level 7 for Uther. And still hammer time down to the bottom of the map as Itrax is now closing in on his next talent too. That will allow him a bit more mobility with Sergeant Hammer, but they're trying to at least get some counter damage done on those structures. And the first tower is about to fall. So is the gate. Itrax still has to be a bit cautious here now that Nick is rotating in again. And the whip is missing. One camp stolen away by Ultralisk though. Siege shines now in favor of the blue team. And this is one of the biggest maps in the pool. It is, in fact, the biggest map in the tournament pool right now. And it has also the most mercenary camps. So if you can steal a few away from your opponent, not only do you get additional experience, but you're also making sure that there's added pressure against the opponent's team. And they have to use resources to defend properly against all of it. Dino again with another blind here, trying to slow down. The entire idea here is honestly to slow down Sergeant Hammer as much as they can, while the rest of the team is getting value on the side lanes. Abathur is helping out with the 2. They're flanking in with Arthurs every now and then. Samura at the top lane is still doing good work. And you can see that they are getting a pretty big gap in experience, since Germany is nearly on level 9 at this point. They actually are. 10 stacks for Arthurs. We'll see how much his damage is going to increase as the game continues. But we have the first seed for Poland. We were able to claim that. Can they claim a little bit more though? Second one is about to spawn. Is Germany going to make a play for it or not? We now have down to the bot lane twice Itrax and Lavakal, still going for that little trio in an attempt to push for the fort itself. Now that Sergeant Hammer finally has some mobility, it's going to be a lot easier. But the Germans are getting closer and closer to level 10, and that is going to be a bit of a game changer. The window of opportunity for the blue team, it's pretty big. This entire level that still has to be soaked, and there's a lot that Germany can do here. Pressure for structures, go for the objective. Here comes Valkyrie, as expected, as a bit of a counter to Sergeant Hammer. Illusion Master is in, and of course, what we need to see from Itrax then eventually is him utilizing siege tactics whenever he sees the Valkyrie coming out. Another playmate for the seed. Richu is trying to interrupt this. Half a level until they themselves get heroic abilities. For now, nothing they can really do about it. Nice, Howling Blast connects. Good job. Nick, there's the Valkyrie, and the end of Genji. Genji down. They abandoned the bot lane, though, to make that happen, but they got a kill against Sonya with the help of Abathur Samuro up at the top, down to the bottom of the map, though. That's where we're now seeing the first fort nearly destroyed. I'm not quite sure if they can destroy the entire thing. Problem is, of course, that Abathur with Mule can now start to repair it once again. Samuro, top side, going for a 4-2. Leap in for Sonya as an escape tool, but also to make sure that she can engage and maybe get a kill. Blessed Shield as an added stun. Aegis is in. And, well, Abathur's trying to repair the bottom fort. Samuro is still doing work at the top, but gets killed as Genji tag teams together with Sonya. It came at a cost. The fort is nearly destroyed, but now that Samuro is out of the game for a few more seconds, it can try to push at the bottom of the map. And they're also claiming a few additional camps, as you can currently see on the minimap. Aegis is in, whip is used. Good setup though for Cassia, and immediately the focus becomes the kill on Oriel, which they can get, and they're trying for Atrax too. They're killing Jojo, and they're taking Sergeant Hammer down to 3 kills for the Germans in that encounter. Nicely done. Fantastic opportunity now to pull farther and farther ahead. First one to fall was Oriel, then afterwards they're getting a kill on Jojo, and of course Sergeant Hammer comes in third. But this is 9 kills in total against Poland. The German team with level 13 just around the corner for them. Gonna grab it any second now. 15 stacks for Arthurs. That puts him, in regards to damage, to 19,000. It's not too shabby. It's actually ahead of Abatha and ahead of Samuro. It's only Cassia that is able to get more damage onto that. On the right side, 26,000 for our Sergeant Hammer player on the red team. With level 13 talents, the trade build continues for Arthurs. At the top, Samuro does this thing and takes the fort down. And that's actually the first major structure that gets destroyed in this game. First one. So, down here at the bottom of the Howling Blast dodge, but twice still dies. And now they're going for Genji, who's barely able to zip back out of the fight. Swift Strike cooldown was thankfully for him still up. Sonya could come in with a leap. Makes the play and misses it. What? Not like this. Oh, I cannot believe that just happened. And then they're losing 2 heroes. Sonya comes in with a leap, trying to threaten Nick, misses the leap completely, like no pressure on Sonya at all, and she still misses it. And then she dies, and they're losing Sergeant Hammer, and now also Oriel. Oh boy, this is escalating really quickly. It seems like they just can't get a kill here. Hazu with a copy on Arthurs, but now they're making another play for Jojo. 15 kills to 1. Germany is crushing them. And while all of this plays out, we have Garden Terrors on the map as the 3rd seed was taken. The top fort obviously long gone. Down at the bottom of the map, another one is about to fall. In the middle, they're attacking too. 16 talents are ready in just another moment. But this is an absolute disaster from the Polish perspective. They're losing way too much here. Nick is stacking his level 1. He's sitting at 20. And it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. This just hurts. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong for the Polish team here. All the forts are now destroyed. Level 16 in the hands of Germany. A 2-level advantage over the opponent's team. And they're just getting kill after kill. Leap comes in. Sonya, whoa, trying to get the hits in. But everybody is still alive on the German side. Death Knight, though, finally falling. The 2nd kill for Poland. Took them long enough, but now they locked it in. And they can defend, at least for now. They keep not threatened and still attempting to chase a bit. No cooldowns left that would allow them to close the gap. Blessed Shield had been used during the battle itself. But at least with a talent disadvantage, they still got the kill that they needed in order to make this happen. So, yeah. Rough. Rough. Definitely a little bit of frustration playing a role here as well. They were thinking that they could... Everybody on the German side was honestly low when the initial kills happened, so they were thinking if they just throw a few more bodies in, eventually that threshold is going to be reached where Germany is going to bleed players, and it just didn't work. The coordination on the blue team side was just too good. That being said, keep in mind that the Germans are currently the strongest team in this competition. Abatha, the slug getting taken down. Hazorbs getting murdered as Genji sniffs out his position and takes him apart. So Poland slowly fighting back a bit. Obviously still far behind, at least in structures. They themselves haven't destroyed a single fort yet. But yep, here we go. At this point, we're having already 15-3. They got level 16. And here comes the play straight up for the next seed. And of course, at this point, if you're Poland, you want to pull ahead a little bit. You want to take the 2 seeds. If you can make that work, then you can force Germany into fights later on in the game. Because they don't want to get Garden Terrors against themselves. Atrax gets it. Can they win the fight too? Divine Shield had to be used to keep Arthurs alive. Blessed Shield missing, if I saw that correctly, as he was trying to disengage. The Valkyrie, though, also with only limited value. Nice! Good leap this time. And a whip into the wall. Arthur's in real trouble. Nick is low. Genji gets the kill, moves out. The Arthur's copy is still in play as Aegis gets used. And Hazorbs loses the copy. Poland, all of a sudden, trying to crawl their way back into the game. They're clawing their way back 1 inch at a time. 15 kills to 4 now. Still the pressure at the top, but Sonia is ready in time to try and bring this back, whereas the rest of the team is now busying themselves in the mid lane, attempting to go for the fort. Germany is still ahead by an entire level, but Poland is definitely making some good moves now. And with 2 seeds to their name, they can let the next one slide, but they're definitely threatening Garden Terrors eventually here. Nick 24 stacks, 32,000 damage for him. Still second highest damage dealer in this game. Oh boy, oh boy. So, this should be a freebie for Germany. Position is just too good for them. All the way over on the left side, so not really a big problem. Dino and Cassia is the only one that has not died yet in this game. He's the only one that hasn't fallen yet even once. Meantime, Samuro still becoming a big nuisance as this game continues. This is of course a huge problem that they now have in general, that Samuro's late game, especially with the Abathar combo, is incredibly powerful. It's one of the reasons why Spain felt forced to go into a backdoor and try to take the Germans down on the second playday, because they realized that Samuro would just be too big of a force to be reckoned with in the late game. And for very good reason too. So, how are they going to play this out? What kind of moves are we going to see now from the team in red? Are they going to try and push this a bit more aggressively, trying to get some hits in and take some structures down before Germany has the level 20 Samuro and Abathar? Or how are they going to play this? Divine Shield already used over here. They're attempting to force another fight before Storm Talons become a factor. Another leap, and this one is again on point. They're not only killing Arthas, but they also kill Samuro. Poland, everybody. Poland closing the experience gap, 1 kill at a time, and they are gaining massive amounts of momentum. They struggled in the early mid game, but now they're looking better and better by the minute. The first fort gets destroyed, but as all of this happens, Germany is pushing the bot lane a bit with Abathar. Sonia, though, can now go for the Garden Terrors, and this is the big opportunity for Poland to push even further ahead. Oh, but Sergeant Hammer is down. Uther, Genji, he gets the kill. And now only Dino is left, gets the kill on Oriel. There is, of course, still the Uther factor, but Garden Terrors are now in their house. 3 versus 2 on the map. Arthur's gonna come back in a second. Problem is that those Garden Terrors also spawn very far over to the right side of the map, so they're gonna need a lot of travel time until they finally hit structures, and that means that Germany has some time to bring their heroes back onto the map. Only Uther missing. Level 16 talents for both, level 20 talents for Germany. Poland is going to get their Storm Talents in a moment. Hive Mind and the 3-bladed style are now in. We get the Redemption, the Titan's Revenge is here, and it's again even talents for the 2 teams. The Garden Terrors, I mean, I don't want to say they did nothing. It's not quite true. They definitely gave Poland back a lot of map control, pushed the lanes out. That's worth something. They also did damage to the structures. But thanks to Dino's kills at the end there, it's still a decent position for them. We got the Ultra Capacitors, we got the Blinded by the Light, extra cooldown reduction for Genji, and Sonya with more sustain, more survivability now that she can use too. So yeah, things are going to get really interesting here. Is Poland able to win a few more fights and bring this in the late game, turn this around? Or is Germany, now that they have the Samuro power spiking heavily, able to just put him on the lane, try and take a couple of keeps down and let the catapults do the rest, prep it for the minions? We'll definitely wait and see. Don't want to push into Sergeant Hammer though, as you can tell. Sergeant Hammer, right now, 54,000 damage. Cassia at nearly 100,000. Nearly 100,000 damage at this point. So, yeah, and Samuro is pushing. Samuro is pushing now. Ultralisk all over the place. Another camp at the top. These lanes are starting to become very problematic for Poland. Trying to take a couple of the copies out there. But Samuro, he's still doing work. Opens the wall up. Not too much to be done here. Can always fall back. He knows that there's a lot of heroes coming his way as the rotation of Poland continues. But this is the type of play that we can expect from Germany now throughout the rest of the game. Apply pressure to the lanes, push them out, get those camps going, move in with Samuro, and force Poland to retreat. Force them to play passive, force them to defend, and then control the map, control the mercenary camps, wait for your opportunity, maybe go for the objective again. And they're going to just keep doing this. Samuro is already back. Down at the bottom of the map now as Ultralisk is moving in. Top side, it's all about the seed now. Poland wants it, but it would be their first one. And it can be interrupted a couple of times, so that's another problem. And in this case though, yeah, Sonya gets interrupted and that buys more time for Ultralisk at the bottom of the map. Ultralisk, again, easy peasy, can take this down. Gets those images in and keep the copy in mind. There it is. Hazops comes in with a copy, tries to take this down as Samuro moves into the middle to wreak even more havoc over here. Genji is already moving away. The seed has been claimed, but Hazu is getting free damage. Free damage on that keep, and the keep is down to roughly 50% HP. More than that, and this is just a single attack of Samuro. This is the problem. This right here. Samuro Abathar in the late game can pull off so many of these annoying plays. And just look at it. Samuro is already back in action, waiting for a moment. We have siege giant camps taken. A lot of space has been created by this attack down to the bot lane that allowed the blue team to move in. Once again, a couple of copies are ready. More damage being done. And Poland is... they're bleeding structures. Poland is bleeding structures. Blessed Shield. This is the opportunity for Poland to get a kill. And they do. They get the kill. Redemption is in. So Redemption is ready. They're resetting that cooldown. But Death Knight will be back. 19 minutes into the game. Still a siege giant camp that is pushing in the middle and is threatening it. And guess what? Samuro is back to his old shenanigans. Is saying hello. The copy is there. Ultralisk swaps in. And is threatening Sonya. So, yeah, could easily go for the keep. Will very likely do that unless he's needed in the fight. Obviously, Poland is now trying to be very aggressive around this. And what they're hoping for, they're pretty much trying to get Garden Terrors. Get the objective and then go for a monster push and win the game. But they're losing the keep at the bottom of the map. Samuro swapping into the image and back out. Siege Giant still with a bit of pressure here. Two Garden Terror tribute thingies, seeds to one, and the next one is spawning in a decent position for Poland. This is what they need. It's the only play they have. Either you just YOLO and you go into a lane and you're saying, okay, we siege up on this, or you go for the Garden Terrors. But Samuro, he can go core eventually. It's not only about those keeps. Of course, he's going to take them down one at a time, and that will apply more catapult pressure that eventually will lead to Poland losing the game, unless they can win a big team fight. But if not for that, then Samuro can just simply go for the core. He can simply move in, get some copies done, Abathar copies him, and then all of a sudden you have 6 Samuros that are just destroying everything. I mean, you can see it right here. He's already doing exactly that, threatening them. Seeds are now spawning, and up at the top, another camp moving in with catapults. 20 minutes in, 21 minutes in, catapults are hitting like a truck. And just look at the damage done here. The shield is nearly removed. And that's a free seed for Germany, without even having to fight for it, because Poland has to defend. It's really tough. It's really tricky. And Samuro is back. He's back and he's just like, let's just get a little bit of damage in. 99%. Yeah. And he keeps Genji in the base. 107,000 damage for Cassia. 63,000 for Sergeant Hammer. Samuro is sitting at 39,000 in team fights. But it's of course really this lane pressure that is the meanest thing about all of this. So yeah, Genji is trying to defend. Here comes another seed. And let's not forget, this is actually a third. Poland is kind of lucky that it's spawning at the bottom of the map, because it will allow them to control the bot lane to an extent, and at least the minion waves. They can't really control Samuro here, but they can make sure that no catapults are passing by while they are trying to fight for this one, because they need to win this one. If Garden Terrors get procced for Germany, then it's just lights out. That's just the end of it. But Samuro, again, what does he do? While the channel happens, he goes for the core. So, interrupts, are they happening? Can they get the channel? Here are the Garden Terrors. Core is going to take damage. Core will take damage, but they should be able to defend here. But then they have to attack with the objective. If they don't win it here, when are they ever going to have a chance? The only opportunity that they would have, if they don't push with these Garden Terrors now, is if at some point Germany is fully running it down. If Germany goes for a big int, then they could still lose the game. But if not, then this is the only and last opportunity for Poland to win this one. This is their last chance. It's now or never. And they're losing a hero. No, maybe Aegis. And, well, nicely done. Lavakal with a big save. Garden Terrors are pushing. Germany is retreating. And is slowly falling back here. Samuro, 77% on Poland's core. But they need to win this fight. They need to. And they lose Oriel. They lose Oriel, and this is likely gonna be the end. Uther falls, but of course he still has redemption, or has it back at least. 3 heroes down for Poland, as mentioned before. This was the last chance, one way or another. Yes, the Garden Terrors are doing some damage. There's at least a couple of forts that are getting destroyed up here at the top. But generally speaking, here comes the move from Ultralisk and Hazorps as Abathar helps out, and we all know how this is gonna end. Abathar Samuro, an absolute cancer comp. It's so tricky to play against in the late game in particular. And Poland, they suffer defeat at the hand of this composition. No chance for them to defend this anymore. Samuro coming in with big whacks and damage against the tank. And that is a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 for Germany as they take the victory on Garden of Terror. GG, well played. Towers of Doom, game number 3, takes place on towers as Germany hopes to make this another 3-0. So, can they pull it off? Can they win another series without dropping a single map, or is Poland now turning things around and putting a point onto the board? A little bit tricky on the last map, obviously, to go up against Samuro and Abathar. As you could tell in the late game, the two of them are just such a nuisance. Poland was never able to really move out. They got the objective, they were trying to push with it. It was the only real chance that they had. They fought their way back in the late mid-game, but at that point it was just... yeah, it was just too late. They couldn't do anything there. They were forced into the team fight in a way that they didn't really want. They lost too many heroes, and then immediately we had, of course, Samuro together with Abathar and the rest of the team pushing over to the core, and Germany, therefore, with 2 maps of an advantage now. Towers of Doom, Abathar, not a factor anymore. Heroes that were played once cannot be played again in the same series, so at least this time they don't have to deal with the slug. But Vikings are still up, and therefore... quick ban on the Vikings. Junkrat gets taken by the Polish team as their first pick. They decided once again that they would go for first pick, first ban. So in case that you're unfamiliar with the concept, the team that loses has the choice whether they want to pick the map or they want to have first pick, first ban. Traditionally, most teams decide in favor of first pick, first ban. There's some exceptions, but generally that's the rule of thumb. And Poland is no exception to that rule. So they went once again for first pick, whereas Germany then went in and chose the map. Zeratul. Today seems to be the day where I get all of the heroes that I was missing yesterday on the second playday. So yes, we have a Zeratul pick on the side of Dino. First pick, even. And together with him, Lucio. Okay, I like it. This could be fun. We got Tracer earlier, now we have Zeratul. And for Poland, it is a White Mane and a Tyrael. So Nick doesn't get to play his damage Tyrael. I believe the last 2 times that he played him with Judgment, it was on towers. I might honestly be wrong on this one. But I distinctly remember at least 1 game that he played here that worked really well for them. But again, so far Germany had a stellar run. Now, they haven't faced off against any of the other favorites just yet. They haven't played against France yet. They haven't played against Sweden. That's going to happen eventually. And this is going to be the real challenge. But up until then, their job, honestly, is to win these matches and to lose as few maps as possible. Whereas their opponents are always going to hope for an upset. Take a map, take 2, win the series, and all of a sudden you're just breaking the entire top 4 wide open. For Poland in particular, it's going to be really important to at least take a map here. That would be fantastic for them. Now, here on the third play day, what we actually are going to see is Spain against the Netherlands. And that is another interesting one since, as I mentioned before, Spain is now still in a position where the only team that they lost to so far was one of the 3 top teams. So if they are able to take the Netherlands down, they are increasing their chances to still qualify for the offline event in Berlin. So there's a lot of small things happening, a lot of intricacy, a lot of nuances, but it's pretty cool that already on the third playday we're having some very interesting interactions. I mean, playday number 2 had multiple matches go to the 5th map, so that was pretty sweet. But here's Ultralisk on Jaina this time. We got Leoric too. So technically you could go into Void Prison plus Ring of Frost. Highly unlikely, doesn't really get played all that much anymore. Normally when you have a Zeratul, it's always Might of the Narazim and you're trying to go for backline damage, especially against somebody like Junkrat. But they could technically try and pull that off. Is it going to happen? Bit of a question mark here. Hasn't really happened in a long time, and A every now and then still does it, but in Europe it's really a rarity to see that. Varian and Zul. Zul for the rotations, and we get Nick again in this Deathwing position, also the main tank, however you want to call it. Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Map number 3, first match point for Germany. Germany against Poland. Game number 3, it's the match point for Germany. The blue team here on Towers of Doom with Leoric, played by Hazorps, Ultralisk on Jaina. We got Dino with Zeratul, Death Knight on Lucio, and Nick is playing Deathwing. To the right side of the map, they are Polish opponents with Richu on Zul. We got Itrax on Varian, Lavakal on Junkrat, Arion is playing White Mane, and we have Twice on Tyria. Alright, moment of truth. What are we gonna get in this game now from particularly the Polish team? What can they pull off here? On level 1, we have Greater Cleave, so this actually increases the chance that we're going to see a Void Prison. Still not 100% set on this, but it definitely increases the chance that we're going to see some level 10 combo between Ultralisk and Dino, so the Ring of Frost Wombo could still be executed here. Down to the bottom of the map, Zeratul is already moving around a bit. Of course, we have, in the case of Varian with the High King's Quest as his level 1 choice, now an opportunity to maybe just go for damage, which is very likely, since Itrax also plays the hero. And they have done this before, so I don't think this is going to be a taunt. I would be very surprised. He is not really the main tank for the team. Instead, we have Tyrael in that position, and that opens him up for a bit more damage, which he's likely going to go for. So as it stands, yeah, Ultralisk are trying to hit him here with Junkrat, but he was paying attention, so that's not happening. They are invading the camp and they're trying to take the pumpkins away from the Polish team. Can they pull that one off or not? Well, that's the question. But as it stands, it seems highly likely. Yeah, they take the position. Zul is still at the top, so pumpkins successfully stolen away from the red team. Good start for Germany. And for them, we got Fingers of Frost, and Austin's Renewal is in as well. Over on the left side, here comes the action with the second camp. So both of the pumpkin camps go to Germany. They put some pressure onto the bot lane, get some extra experience. But then again, Zul was already rotating over very aggressively. This combo with Leo and Deathwing has been played once before by Germany. I believe it was on playday number 2 on Inferno Shrines, and with decent success here. We're gonna get the... he should get the damage, honestly. At this point, I'm just expecting him to go straight up for some smashy smash. Don't think that we're gonna get meme blades in this one. Itrax already retreating. He's trying to escape from Lucio and from Leo as he gets drained pretty heavily. Hasn't made a choice yet. Every single time that I see a Varian hesitate this much after High King's Quest pick, I'm thinking, is it gonna be meme strike, meme blades? Are we gonna go for the machine gun fire here, or... No, we're not. He goes for the smash. Alright. So Varian is gonna do a lot of yelling. And Zeratul at the top doing his own thing. Varian is gonna let everybody know about all of his pain. Shouts it out to the world. His biggest pain, obviously, is the embarrassment of having Anduin as a son. That's the reason. I mean, honestly, if Anduin was my son, I would scream and yell too. I wouldn't be happy about that either. So, no surprise during all of these fights, whenever he just leans in for extra damage, he just voices that disappointment and just screams at the top of his lungs. Totally understandable. Can't fault the man for that. Yeah, but there we go. Got a couple of channels already happening, especially on the side of the blue team. Now that they are focusing on the top right, they might even walk away with a second altar channel here. I mean, normally that shouldn't happen, but it's a 2 versus 2 at the top and down to the bottom of the map. It's a 3 versus 3. This could actually get really, really annoying. Varian going down. Yeah, this is getting really annoying for Poland. This is a huge problem. Oh my god, they're going to get all 3 of them, aren't they? Top side, the channel is already happening. Hazu is zoning them out. There it is. Bam, 1 channeled. And they can now go for another one down at the bottom of the map. This is all of a sudden getting a little bit dangerous, because the one thing that you want to avoid when you're playing on Towers of Doom, you never want to go full NA. You never want to go full NA. 40-0. Never forget, always remember. And they are going to do their best to prevent that from happening. It usually doesn't, but that would be how it starts. Deathwing starting to move in. Yeah, Varian shouting, yelling, screaming, but Ultralis just doesn't die. And now that they're coming through with more damage from Leo, they're dropping Tyrael. Nearly got the kill also on Varian, but that is Tyrael gone, and the altar channeled. 4 shots fired, and well, that's 40-28 now. Now, if you really want to go for 40-0, there's 2 big obstacles that you have to overcome. The first one is the triple altar phase. The second one is the double altar top side, top left, top right. If you can claim both of those, then you have a pretty decent chance of actually defeating your opponent in a perfect game. And they're already trying to also do additional damage over here, as you can tell. Nothing really done there just yet. It's of too big a consequence. But pumpkin cams are being fought over once more, and that changes things up slightly. So, yeah. Can they steal that again? Of course, that's the hope here. Come in, steal it away, and just get the damage done. And this is exactly what we're currently seeing from them. They're getting another kill any second. If Itrax at least can be dropped by them. The pumpkin cam has already been taken. Very much a huge amount of sustain here from them. They can't get the kill though. Like, it's a little bit insane, honestly. Given the fact that both of them were so low that I expected not only 1 but 2 kills at least. Varian survived for ages, finally falls. The Pumpkins now pushing in with the rest of the team as they're going with the Entomb for another kill, aiming for Tyrael, and they get that kill. Nicely done. Double kill for Germany, 4 kills to 0. And the goal, of course, at this point is to take the opponent's bell tower. And they're going to convert that one over. Single altar spawn happening in the middle of the map. 5 points potentially fired. And we get the combo. I mean, Void Prison, Ring of Frost, as already mentioned before. That's the play here right now. I actually didn't really think they would go for it. I talked about it a bit during the draft, but once that we saw the level 1 talent, the Greater Cleave for Zeratul, it made it a lot more likely. And they are definitely trying to execute this now, since they also have the potential follow-up of an Entomb with the Ring of Frost here. Means that Dino is not going to be that aggressive in the backline there. Especially with Varian Taunt, that could have become an issue, but since he went Smash, it's more about the single target damage for them. And Poland is throwing everything that they have against the opponent's team. Sanctification has already been used. Nice! Beautiful setup. And now Deathwing is coming in. Big damage, big barbecue. And the kills are happening. 4 heroes are down. Jaina at least falls. So Poland, they get a kill, but they are suffering another 5 shots at the hands of Germany. Itrax is about to go down too. So it's a full 5-man team wipe, allowing them to push even more aggressively. But what a sick setup. Here comes the Entomb, Ring of Frost, Deathwing. I mean, they dropped everything on them. That choke point became the tomb of Poland. They lost everybody in this one. It was insane. So well executed by the Germans. The German efficiency. It is exactly as you expected. We get the Shroud for Zeratul. And obviously at this point Poland is heavily trailing, right? So they're going to try and somehow bring this one back, but it's going to be insanely difficult for them. Up at the top, Leo against Zul, but down here at the bottom of the map, as Poland attempts to retake that bell tower, they are suffering more and more damage from the blue team as they're just getting pressured back. Experience is ticking in for the team on the left, and they are now claiming more than a 2-level lead over the team on red. Yeah, camps are going to be taken reliably throughout the game as long as the bot lane control is this heavily established by the Germans. So they're trying with those pumpkins to get additionally shots fired. But a bit of a different approach now from Poland as they're realizing that the bot lane is not really going to happen for them. So instead what they're doing is rotate heroes topside so that they can make a play there. Riptire is taken down. One pumpkin actually made it through. Two pumpkins made it through. Call that 3. Oh boy. Yep, they're down to 19 points now against 40. Another single altar is spawning at the bottom of the map now. And, well, maybe they can at least kill Hazu here. With Death Knight saying hello, it's getting a little bit less likely, but they're going for all the stops here. Even the Poison Nova is being used to finally get a kill, and they do, but they're losing Varian in the process, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, since Germany was able to get 3 heroes into the action up at the top left. Second kill happening as well. Down they go. Varian, Zul both eliminated. And now, of course, trouble's brewing, as another altar was already channeled at the bottom of the map. That one was just out of reach for Poland. Worst spawn possible for them. And this is 14 points now for the Polish team. Guys, this could be a perfect game. I mean, perfect, of course there's kills that happen, but perfect game in the sense of core points. We have a double altar spawning, and if they can maintain control of the bell tower, that would put Poland down to 4 points, meaning the boss could end the game. Things are getting incredibly tricky right now for the red team. I mean, don't get me wrong, Germany, as I highlighted many times, is the favorite in this series, but Poland, they had ambitions to at least take a map, take a little bit more, maybe build that momentum and cause an upset here, and currently we are far from it. There were a few bright moments for Poland throughout the series, but here in game number 3, things are looking dire. 11 kills to 2 and level 16 talents. Any moment now, any moment. And up at the top, Leo is pushing this even further. The ring play with the VP not quite working the way that they intended. So this bell tower could be retaken, but this is still a 5 versus 4. Leoric is at the top. Leoric is escorting another couple of pumpkins through, not too much damage done. He's now slowly moving back down to the bottom of the map. But they're dishing out damage, and this continuous siege from Poland, it's working. They're going to reclaim the bell tower, but they're also suffering a whole lot of losses here. Dino is moving back out. That could be an issue. A bit of space created for him. Varian with another smash. And now with Deathwing, they get the kill. Varian is dead. 5 shots fired. They might go for 10 if they can also control the altar in the middle. The attempt to bring the bell tower back is finally successful, but Tyrael dies as he delays them, and this is going to bring the Polish core down to 5 points. The altar is going to be channeled. The boss is not going to be enough to win the game, but yeah, this is still getting dicey, especially of course with Deathwing pressuring the mid lane further. Now down here, another pumpkin camp is getting attacked. Riptire damage, helping them to clear it. Also doing some hero damage, don't get me wrong, but at least it helped them and sped things up a bit. That level 16 talent advantage is obviously nasty as hell now, especially with the Void Slash in play. More aggression here in the middle, and this is 6 pumpkins now at the bell tower down to the bot lane. Nearly reclaiming the entire thing. Might get it now that Zeratul and Jaina are moving back in, and honestly, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to claim this one. So, here we go. Top left and top right is where we're going. Other left and other right is where we're going to see the next altar. And again, if Germany takes only one of them, they win the game. Ring, ding, and death. Junkrat down, Hazobs might fall, but they're getting twice as well. So Lucio is dead, Tyrael is gone. They're getting another kill against Zeratul and Leo, but Varian is also dropped, so this is getting a bit out of hand here. Kill after kill is happening, and it includes Zul, leaving Whitemane as the sole survivor. And it's a triple altar phase, and all that Germany has to do for the perfect game is come in, channel one of them before Poland gets the chance to do the same. Well played by Germany. This is looking absolutely fantastic for them. And it's been a long time since I've seen a 40-0 in Heroes of the Storm. Junkrat doing his best to interrupt, but over on the left, Ultralisk, he's too late! Who took it first? They interrupt! They avoided it! Get wrecked! Germany thwarted, Poland celebrating. They prevented the worst from happening. Nice, congratulations to Poland. Germany, they screwed it up, they got cocky. They wanted the 40-0, they didn't get it. Yeah, big fail, big F from the Germans. They got another bell tower in the middle, but who cares? The 40-0 was avoided. That's all that Poland needed to do here. Never go full NA, and they didn't. I mean, I count that as a win for Poland. White main is down. At this point, we should just put a point on the board for the Polish team. In my book, that's a big victory. So now, of course, with everybody dying, I mean, again, we have Junkrat eliminated, Zul is eliminated too. They're going for Varian with 6 bell towers to 2. There is no question how the game is going to end eventually, especially since this is going to result in a 5-man wipe over here. But this is still a win. Well done by Poland. There's a real problem. They were in real trouble, and then they turned it around. Germany might win the series, they might win the map, but Poland, they won our hearts. They avoided the 40-0, but they're still losing the game and the match as Germany takes another victory here on Towers of Doom. GG, well played. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.